To the third quarter of foot race here. Morris going on Goo. Morris over Goo with the poster slam. Which creates that opportunity for him. Dotson will drop it down as Morris fires it through. Another turnover coming out of the timeout, not what Memphis wanted. And an authoritative slam and another and one. Opening minutes here in quarter number 2.
Morris to force the issue, takes it right to the rim, and he knows how to finish around that basket.
They trail by 4. Morris, great dish from Primo.
Johnson will send it back out. Morris drives, and that one scores. So Spurs get it back. Morris again. Man, what a shot.
All right, so welcome everybody to the first ever official tissue, one and only, Beyond D2 podcast by at D2HOOPSTOO. Welcome, Jaylen. Welcome. We finally did it.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Shout out D2HOOPSTOO.
Shout out D2HOOPSTOO, definitely. So we finally did it. So I mean, some people have been asking for it. We felt like it was time. Felt like, it was needed for us to at least get on video, just to at least share more knowledge, just share your experiences, try to basically give out free game best way we can. So, I mean, just briefly, just so that way we have a little background. My name is Derrick Okunpolor. Jaylen and I actually played at Malloy together for 2 years. I was a freshman. He was a junior, I think. Me and Jay, we were best of friends ever since. Connected on and off the court. I watched his career grow. I watched him grow as a basketball player, even to this day. So it's cool that we're finally doing something together. And then that was just a little quick intro about me, but we're really here to really talk about you. So tell us about yourself.
Man, grew up Buffalo, New York. Shout out 716. Went to Canisius High School and then transferred my junior year to go to St. Joe's. Thought St. Joe's would be a better fit for me, getting away from everything that, politics and all that with Canisius. So I felt like I had to leave. Wasn't highly recruited at all coming out of high school. Okay. So I was really looking at D3 schools, to be honest, until fortunately my dad coaches at Malloy still to this day. But then I still didn't want to go because I wanted to be like, do my own thing, not really use him as a resource to go to Malloy or Division II. But my mom was like, you better go. I said, well, that's pretty much all that took. So then
as soon as mom tells you it's time, whatever it is.
I guess it was like some type of scholarship or something that I wasn't getting at D3. And my mom said, boy, you better go. That's all I needed.
Yeah, we understand.
So she ended up at Malloy College.
Good
College.
Good decision by Mama Chan.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how she knew, but she knew. So, and then from Malloy, freshman year, I wasn't really even playing really until my breakout game. I'll never forget.
So that's good that you're about to get into your Malloy career. So yeah. I guess before you get into the breakout game, how was your freshman year, coming into freshman year, since your dad's on the coach, since your dad is an assistant coach, right? The outlook is favoritism. You're already off the bat. We look at it as you're expected to play because your dad's the coach. If you're not starting, you're gonna get minutes. How was that dynamic? Did your dad make you work? Like, did he treat you like how he treated everyone else? Did you feel like, regardless if that was your dad, you still had to work for your spot? Like, how was that coming in as a freshman?
Nah, I knew coming in, it wasn't even going to be no type of favoritism, nothing like that. Like, you know, me and my dad, like we close now, but back then we wasn't really all that close. Like we still text here and there. So I was, in my opinion, I was going to school for a regular coach. Like I wasn't thinking of no favoritism. Like I was just gonna do what I have to do to show that I could play. So freshman year, like I said, I wasn't even about to stress the favoritism or what everybody else thought. I knew what I had to do.
That's a fact.
And I just knew, yeah. So I was ready to work regardless.
Okay. So I mean, how was that? What was preseason like? Walk us through that.
Preseason, I ain't never have a preseason before. So I'll never forget the first day of preseason. You know, I'm a scrawny ass freshman, 175 pounds, like 6'2". I didn't know what the hell I was getting myself into. Like I go into the gym, I see 7-foot Ty Hammett. Shout out Ty. I see Player of the Year and John Petroselli.
Oh yeah.
Matt McLeod.
Yeah.
B. Will.
Yeah.
Mo Gat, like all them dudes, bro. So the first practice preseason, bro, I threw up.
I understand.
I threw up.
Yeah.
And it was no like, you good? It was like, all right, get back on the line type stuff. So I was like, bro, what the hell? Am I gonna make it? This one we had Jailhouse too. I ain't really lift weights like that.
Oh,
like,
shout out ITM with Jailhouse. God damn. ITM's preseasons. Yeah.
Yeah, ITO. I'll never forget, bro. We're gonna get into that, but my freshman year, ITM wasn't even there.
Okay.
But ITM was a whole different story. Remember when he had us working out with bricks?
That's a different story for a different day. Shout out ITM though.
Shout out ITM. Shout out Connective. Shout out everybody, man. Love the guys, miss the guys. Man, that was Malloy was definitely fun.
Okay.
Definitely fun.
And then preseason, you experienced college basketball at a high level, even though if it's Division II, that's still nobody. How many people out of high school make it to the next level? So you're playing at a very high level, competing at a very high level. So you said that you ended up having a breakout game your freshman year. Mm-hmm. What game was that? Who'd you play? Like, was it straight Tracy's, ISO? So, what was that like?
in the beginning of the season, I was getting like, end of the bench minutes. Either it's a blowout. Me and Charlie, other coaches said I'll never forget. Yeah, shout out Charlie. We was at the scores table about to go in our first game at Bridgeport in one of them tournaments or whatever. I think we played Southern Connecticut.
Yikes. Yikes.
We was about to get in at the very end. We just look at each other like, bro, I hate these minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, facts. And it's our fathers, bro. Like, that make it worse. But fast forward, the breakout game, we was home and we played what was that school? We played Philadelphia University.
Okay.
So I went in like my regular like my bench time, whatever you want to call it. I go in and it was only had, I think it was either 7 or 9 points. Okay. But it was a loud 7.
It was loud. Walk us through that. Walk us
like
through
bike to bike. I don't remember exactly, but I know I got a steal, fast break, like a layup, float or whatever. I come down, and then I think it might have been the next play or whatever, next 2 plays, I come down, hit a 3. Ooh. I hit the 3. I'm looking at the crowd. I see Kimani, Lee.
Okay.
Alex hyped me up. I said, "Oh yeah, shout out the gang, shout out the girls team." So then I think I got another steal. Okay. Came down, got a dunk. By that time, yeah, I was
early. Okay. Yeah. It's 6'2", Jay. This 6'2".
By that time, it was like, did you ever see the KG when he was talking about his workout in front of Pat Riley?
Yeah.
When he was screaming, he was like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Yeah.
It was like one of those.
Maybe 7-8 times.
One of those.
Motherfucker! Fuck you mean? Why you in here? Nice workout, young fella. Nice workout.
One of those moments like
that.
yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I scored again. And then whatever game went on, that was it for me. I think I went back in, but I didn't do as much. But I'll never forget. Strong 9 points, strong 7, 9 points. After the game, getting text messages from, the girls on the girls team, like, yo, that was your breakout game. Like, they know you here now, da-da-da. So I was like, yeah, facts. Next game, we played Bridgeport. Man, I didn't do nothing.
Bridgeport, especially those teams back then
back then,
I heard they were nice.
Bro, like 1-12 elite. They had JoJo Swift, Sean Barry. I think he transferred from like D1 Cincinnati or something like that.
Okay.
And I think my dad set me up low key. I think he set me up because my dad went to Bridgeport. So that game I started, so they announced Morris, number 30. I think he just wanted to live through me, and he set me up by putting me out there like that.
Yeah,
it was bad, bro.
Shout out Coach Morris.
It was really bad, bro. I think they whooped our ass. I think I'll never forget. I think we went into the game like doing the scout or whatever. I think Coach said Sean Barry, who was their 5-man, he was like, yeah, we're going to let him shoot. He's not going to shoot. I think the first 3 plays, he hit 3 threes in a row. I said, oh, God. Okay. It's one of those games. It was one of those.
Bridgeport was usually stacked.
Yeah.
That's
and then, the crowd, yeah.
Yeah, I already know about that, Jim. I already know about that, Jim. Right there with you.
Yeah.
Loud.
It's safe to say that I was rattled out the gate.
The crowd would definitely do it to you.
Yeah, I was rattled, but it was so that was the breakout game. After that, shit started coming a little easier. That's all. But that's crazy.
All right, I definitely, especially with Bridgeport, man. Bridgeport, you had to be mentally tough.
Mentally tough.
You had to be mentally tough to play at Bridgeport, but no, that's
mentally tough with the players and the crowd itself was a whole nother battle. Oh my goodness,
different. But I mean,
my mom about to come in too. But fuck, keep going.
All right. So with that being said, what were the biggest challenges you faced in playing Division II in terms of trying to get exposure from either NBA or even overseas?
I really wasn't even thinking about overseas NBA because I damn near thought it was impossible to come from especially coming from D2. So that really wasn't even on my radar, especially early on as I was still trying to adapt to college and life and all, like college basketball and all that. And then I remember, like I mentioned before, John was a senior when I was a freshman. So watching him, claw his way into the D League, I think he was overseas in like Czech before or something like that. And like, I was like, bro, if he's struggling like this, and he's 10 times better than me. So I'm like, how the hell am I going to try and do anything? So at that point, I was just focused on, doing the best I can with college basketball and just focusing on that, not really thinking of life after college, still playing basketball. So I wouldn't say it was really any challenges, but looking back, it was definitely some challenges, especially when I was done at Malloy for sure.
Yeah. What was that like when you finished up at Malloy?
First, I had to get an agent. I always say I was so fortunate enough to have a connection through my dad with one of his friends. And he set me up with, I don't know if you remember Ronnie, my first agent.
Yeah.
So he set me up with him. Ronnie didn't even believe in me at first, for real. Because he was like, I remember our first conversation, he was like, I really can't tell off film, you playing a bunch of 5'10" white guys. I mean, he was dragging it, but just like stuff like that, like agents, teams not going to take this seriously because of the competition or whatever. So,
but sidebar, little do they know.
Little do they know. That's all right. you know, we gonna show people little by little, man, brick
Oh,
by
yeah.
brick. So he was pretty much like, yeah, I gotta come see you play, da da da, some exposure camps, all that. So he made me go to in Long Island or whatever. I think it was at Lehigh, to be honest. Gotham Hoops. It was like, low level D1 people. Pretty sure it was me and Diego, only D2 people there.
Diego Maldonado from
Yeah,
Queens.
we was actually on the same team. So
Shout out
shout
him. I
out
think he's in
Diego.
Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah. So we was on the same team. Whatever. I was hooping. My team won the chip, and I think Ronnie was in the crowd, and we basically talked. He was like, "Okay, you can actually play," type shit.
So,
So then, huh?
D2HOOPSTOO.
Yeah, trying to tell you, it's a movement. But from there, he went to some showcases in Vegas. Worldwide was a pretty good one. It was like a whole draft and all that. And
Okay.
then it was a one after that wasn't so good. Um, damn, scores first or something like that. That shit was trash. But now worldwide was hooping for real. It's so funny, like looking back, man. If because the coach I had in worldwide, he was a black coach, about to coach in Belgium. So he was like, if I had room for you on my team, I would take you. I would take you with me to go. So I was like, oh damn, like, of course, team full. I know this coach. We done built this friendship or whatever through this little showcase camp. And right when I'm about to be like, oh, I got my big break, about to go play pro, he's, I would take you, but we already filled out the roster. So I was like, damn. And then looking back, I'm glad it happened though.
Yeah,
Glad it happened. So that's why I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, for sure.
that's a fact. And that's a great story, man. For real. That's because wasn't even self-doubt. It was just more so you just kept looking ahead. You just kept
Hmm.
working, and then your work eventually it led up to where we're at now. So
Yeah, for
that's dope.
sure.
I mean, that's a great way to start. So I mean, I don't want to take too much of your time. We got things to do today. So I mean, I guess is there any I guess to round off everything, just so that way, we got a lot of college kids, a lot
Hmm.
at the Division 2 level, even guys at even Division 3 or even Division 1 that may want to tune into the podcast. What is the work that you have to put in? Like obviously, as your teammate, I saw you work every single day, even when you were hurt, even preseason now, just, I saw the work that you put in. And then even though I was still playing, I saw glimpses of the work that you were putting in when you came down for the
Hmm.
fall season as you were entering the professional level. What's the work like that you have to put in from college to the pros? What was that like for you, or that transition?
Man, it was just a lot of getting, like, I don't even know. It was a lot of figuring out what I'm special at, what makes me me. So
Okay.
whether it was, being a defender, cutting, attacking the basket, just staying true to myself and working on stuff that I'll actually do in the game. I'm a big believer in, work on stuff that you need. Like, you're not going to be the guy all the time. So there's no need to dribble, double step back, contested three
Yeah.
if you're in my position, to be honest. So it was a lot of self awareness, knowing what I have to do to be successful, and just pretty much mastering that craft, and becoming a professional, and especially doing what I needed to do to get on the court and to play at a high level.
Okay. That's dope, man. Thank you for that. I think, kids, not even for regular professionals, you hear that, it's all about self-awareness is the biggest step. Once you're self-aware, then you'll know how to find your niche or find your fit. Not everyone's
Mhm.
gonna be Steph, LeBron, KD, Luca, Ja, Jokic. You got to be a Caldwell Pope.
Right, exactly. Every team needs a Caldwell Pope.
Rings in the past, what?
Guys like that could make or break you, bro.
Yeah, and Caldwell Pope is
Keep it
valued
up.
on a lot of teams. A lot of teams will take a piece like that. So, you're not going to be Steph or you're not going to be
Mhm.
Jokic, but you can be
Mhm.
KCP. And you can
Yes, you
still
can.
bag being KCP. I'm sure
Yes,
he's
you
making
can.
a great amount of
Yes,
money
you
being
can.
KCP.
Like that's what talking about that. Like that's why I think now the NBA gets too much involved in, super teams, 4 superstars on one team. But if you look at it, like all the recent winners, the teams that have been the deepest, could play multiple guys, stuff like that. Like a lot of these super teams aren't really winning like that. You need a deep roster to Now that wasn't a pause. Now you drag. That wasn't a pause. I said a deep roster, bro.
Yeah,
Now you drag. That wasn't a pause.
my bad.
But you know what I mean? Like you gotta have like that Warriors team was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
They had Steph. This is before KD got there. They had Steph, Draymond, Harrison Barnes, Sean Livingston, Mo Spates,
Yeah.
Draymond, like Klay Thompson, Barbosa. Like they had a squad, bro. So like I feel like teams like that are built like that. You got your top 2 guys, whatever. Teams built like that have more success than a super team. So that's where I'm at on that.
Yeah. And that was our first, just to round everything off, that was episode 1 for us, first ever podcast. Again, this was the Beyond D2 podcast presented by D2HOOPSTOO.
D2HOOPSTOO, Beyond D2 podcast with your host, Jay Morris and Derrick Okunpolor. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Yeah, that's all I got. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. D2HOOPSTOO on all socials.